Hey girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some really pretty designs with polygel and plastic wrap. For my own nails, I do have a previous manicure which I did just cut down the length of the nails, so they do look a little bit weird, so just try to ignore that. For the manicure, I do already have the practice hand prepped and ready for the nail application. If you guys are interested to see how I prep my practice hand for these videos, I will link the video in the cards as well as the description. I do have my dapping dish filled with some rubbing alcohol to use as my slip. I am using the polygel brush that is included in the polygel kits. I am going to be using number 2, which is a white polygel. This is from the classic edition polygel kit from DoubleDipNails. I'm just starting by applying some of the polygel directly onto the nail, and I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing that out. So I just took my polygel brush and dipped it in the rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing out the polygel on the nail. For the application of this first layer, you do want it to be pretty thin. It does not have to be perfect because we are going to be wrinkling up this layer anyway, but do make sure not to have too much product around the cuticle and sidewall areas of the nail, otherwise you will get the product all over your skin. Once the polygel has been smoothed out how I want, I'm going to go ahead and take some plastic wrap. This is the same plastic wrap that people use for their food, but I just cut a small piece of this and I'm going to be using it for my nails. I'm going to be placing this plastic directly over the uncured polygel. I'm then going to take my cuticle pusher. You can use anything that is pointy. I'm going to go ahead and start wrinkling up the polygel. When you do this step, you do want to kind of focus on making a lot of different patterns in the nail. You can play around with this to get it exactly how you want, but because this is basically my first attempt doing this type of nail design, I wasn't quite sure exactly what pattern I wanted to do, so I did make sure to make it quite random on the nail. I am also taking the other side of the cuticle pusher to push all of the product away from the cuticle and sidewall areas. I am doing this because I don't want to have any of this polygel cured onto my practice hand. After I have that exactly how I want, I am going to go ahead and do a full minute cure under the UV LED nail lamp. Once the polygel has been fully cured, you can go ahead and remove the plastic wrap from the nail. I am also going to take this chrome powder pigment. This is a really pretty like rose gold type of color. To apply the chrome powder pigment, I am taking an eyeshadow applicator and I'm going to pick up the powder and start scrubbing it onto the nail. Because polygel does cure with an inhibition layer, the powder is going to stick to that layer, which is going to give you the effect that you want. Basically, when you're doing this, you are adding little pops of this chrome powder pigment once you file and shape the nails. This is going to show through in some areas of the nail. You can do quite a few layers of different colors if you want, but for this, I'm just doing the chrome powder and the second layer of polygel. Once I apply the chrome powder, I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and dust away all of the excess powder from the nail. Next, I am taking the color 39 from the Classic Edition Polygel Kit, and I'm going to be applying this to the nail as well. For this second layer of polygel, you really don't need to have any thickness to this. You're basically just filling in all of those tiny crevices from the previous layer. Again, I'm taking the polygel brush dipped in the rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to go ahead and start smoothing out the polygel onto the nail. When applying your second layer of polygel, you do want to make sure to work it in very well to avoid having any air bubbles in between the two layers of polygel. You can also do any colors of your choice, but for this nail, I did want it to be very pink. Again, for this layer, you do want to make sure that it's pretty thin because you do not want a very bulky nail. Basically, you're going to be filing off most of this layer anyway, so again, just make it very thin. For this layer, you also want to make sure that the cuticle and sidewall areas are pretty smooth, so if you have any missing areas of polygel, go ahead and fill that in as well. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I'm using or showing in this video, everything will be linked down below in the description. You can also use my discount code KCNAILS20 and that will save you 20% off of your Double Dip Nails purchase. Once I've applied the second layer of polygel, I'm going to go ahead and cure for another full minute. So here's the nail after I've cured it. I am going to be using the professional portable e-file from DoubleDipNails and a coarse drill bit to remove all of the excess polygel. So before you file, you do want to make sure to take a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol just to remove the sticky layer from the polygel. Otherwise, it will gunk up your hand file or e-file. For the filing, you do want to make sure to file off a good amount of the second layer of polygel. This is going to actually reveal some of the white polygel underneath that we did for the first layer. This is exactly what you want because we are creating a wrinkled up marble effect for the nail. You can do this step with a hand file, but it would be extremely time consuming. I would personally only recommend that you do this method if you have an e-file and a good drill bit. Otherwise, the filing is going to take a very long time. I'm going to go ahead and file the entire nail until I get the look that I'm going for. I'm also going to take a hand file. This is a 100 grit hand file, and I'm going to go ahead and start reshaping the edges of the nails. For the shape of the nail, I am going for a square or a very slightly tapered square nail shape. I went ahead and removed all of the dust, and that is what the first nail is looking like. I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process to all of the other nails. For this video, I'm actually not going to be doing the thumb just because this is a very repetitive method and I don't want to be doing the same thing for the thumb as well. But for all of the nails, I do keep the white polygel for the base color, and I do change out the chrome powder as well as the second layer of polygel. So I want to quickly talk about this trend just for a minute. I basically started seeing this a few years back, and everyone that I've seen was doing this method with builder gel. They would mix in a little bit of gel polish to make it a transparent color, and they would do this method with the builder gel. I did also try this method back then when it was going viral, but I did not have the same skill set that I have now. Also, builder gel is very difficult for me to work with even now, so I did struggle a lot with getting this method to look right. Also, I was flooding the cuticle and sidewall areas very badly, so that is one reason why I am doing this method with polygel instead of builder. Even though I'm not working with builder gel, I feel like this nail design still came out really pretty. I always loved watching the videos of people doing this method. It was so satisfying to watch, and the nails always turned out so pretty. If you guys do decide to try this method, do make sure to play around with the way that you're scrunching up the plastic wrap. Again, that is going to give you a completely different nail look depending how you do it. I did notice that I was scrunching up the plastic wrap a little bit too much, so there wasn't any areas of long white areas on the nail. It was basically just a lot of different clumps of color. So if you want areas of the nail to have longer areas of white, do make sure not to scrunch it quite as much as I'm doing. Again, all of the areas that are pushed down are going to be filled up with a different color, so do keep that in mind. Again, once I have these scrunching how I want, I did go ahead and cure for a full minute. After removing the plastic wrap, I am going to take this mermaid chrome powder pigment, and I'm going to repeat the same process that I did with the pinky. This might be a little bit difficult to see on camera, but this does give a really pretty mermaid type effect. After removing the dust from the powder pigment, I am going to take the color 72. This is a polygel from the Mermaid Glitz Edition polygel kit from DoubleDipNails. I really love this color, and by the way, it does glow in the dark. If you guys would like to see a video of me unboxing and doing a manicure with these polygels, I will link it here in the cards as well as the description. Again, for the second layer of polygel, I'm repeating the same process that I did for the pinky. I actually really loved how this nail turned out. I would absolutely love to do a nail set just with these three colors because this nail turned out so pretty, and again, it does glow in the dark, which is super cool. I honestly think that this is my favorite nail out of the entire nail set. Once I have the polygel spread out, I did go ahead and do a full cure under the nail lamp. Once the nail's cured, you can see that the color lightens up. I believe this is also a temperature changing polygel. I did go ahead and remove the sticky layer from the nail using a lint-free wipe and some rubbing alcohol, and I'm going to go ahead and file and shape this nail as well. I'm I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same process for the middle fingernail as well. Again, I'm just applying the white polygel to the nail, and I'm going to go ahead and spread that out using the polygel brush. I went ahead and applied the plastic wrap to the nail, and I did start scrunching up that layer of polygel. Once I have the scrunching like I want, I did go ahead and cure for a full minute. For this nail, it is going to be green, so I am using this really pretty deep green chrome powder pigment. I did get these from one of the mystery boxes. I will try to link that video in the cards as well if you are interested, but I am just doing the same thing to apply this chrome powder to the nail as well. After the powder has been applied, I am taking the fluffy brush to remove the excess powder from the nail. For the polygel color, I am using the color 73. This is from the Mermaid Glitz Edition Polygel Kit from DoubleDipNails. Using this polygel, again, I'm just repeating the same process that I've done with the other nails. Personally, I think this is probably my least favorite nail of this nail set, just because the colors are quite dark compared to the other nails. I feel like it didn't really go with the set too well, but this nail did still turn out really pretty, although I don't really like the colors that I used. Again, once I smooth out the polygel, I did go ahead and do a full cure under the UV LED nail lamp. Once that layer is cured, again, I'm just going to remove the sticky layer with some rubbing alcohol and go ahead and start filing and shaping the nail. And for the index nail, again, I'm repeating the same process that I did for the previous nails. I did have a few thoughts to try doing some French tip nail designs with this method. For that, I would just do the base of the French tip first and go ahead and do the tip portion with this method. Do let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested to see a video for that. I can also think of some other nail designs that I could do with this method, so if you guys have any suggestions, definitely leave it down below in the comments. After the base of the nail has been applied, I did go back with my plastic wrap and start scrunching up that first layer of polygel. Again, I'm trying to make sure not to get any of this product on my practice hand. Once I have the design like I want, I did go ahead and do a full cure. After the nail is cured, I removed the plastic paper, and for this nail, I am going to be taking this gold chrome powder pigment color. Again, this is from the same collection that I got in one of the DoubleDipNails mystery boxes. This color is actually really pretty, and if you like gold nails, you would love this chrome powder pigment. Again, I'm just repeating the same step, applying this powder directly into the sticky layer of the polygel. Again, after I remove the excess powder from the nail, I'm going to take my second polygel color. This is number 14 from the Classic Edition Polygel Kit. I'm just going to repeat the same process for this nail as well. Originally, I did want to do kind of a yellow polygel over top of this nail, but the colors that I had didn't really match what I was wanting, so I ended up doing this color, which ended up being a really unique color combination. Let me know if you guys like this nail, but yeah, this wasn't quite my original plan for the colors of this nail. Of course, once I finished the second layer of polygel, I did go ahead and cure for a full minute. After that layer is cured, I just went ahead and removed the sticky layer from the nail. After the sticky layer has been removed, I'm going to go ahead and file and shape this nail as well. So here are the nails after I finished shaping and filing and removed the dust from the nails. I'm going to go ahead and take the top coat gel. This is included in the polygel kits. I'm going to go ahead and start applying the top coat to the nails. I am going to be doing some rhinestones around the cuticle areas, and for the rhinestones, I'm just applying them directly into the uncured top coat. For the main rhinestones, I am using these really small silver ones. These are included in the polygel kits. I'm just taking my wax pencil and going ahead and placing some of these around the cuticle area of the nail. As I usually say, if you want the rhinestones to last, do make sure to use something like a rhinestone glue just to hold the rhinestones in place a lot better. For all of the nails, I chose to do 6 rhinestones, so I'm just placing those rhinestones around the cuticle area of the nail. Do keep in mind, because we are applying these rhinestones into uncured gel, you have as long as you need to get the placement exactly how you like. Once I apply all 6 of these silver rhinestones, I'm also going to be taking some really small gold caviar beads. This is from the 12-piece rhinestones and shape set from DoubleDipNails. For these caviar beads, I'm just placing one in between each rhinestone, and I'm doing this on the top and the bottom of the rhinestone area. I feel like adding these caviar beads just gives the nails a really pretty look. I love when people put caviar beads around their rhinestones. I think it looks so cute and really elegant. Once I placed all of the caviar beads around the rhinestones, I did go ahead and do a full cure under the mini lamp. I am going ahead and curing the nails individually after applying the top coat and rhinestones, just because the placement of these was extremely time consuming. You would probably assume that the shaping and filing of this nail set is what took the longest, but honestly for me, it was placing these caviar beads around the rhinestones. It was extremely time consuming, so because of this, I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process to all of the other nails, and I will come back once I finish all of the nails. And here are the nails. I think these are really cute, not quite the look that I was going for. And again, as I said, I don't really like the green nail, but these are pretty cute. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do make sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you guys found this video helpful or like to watch nail tutorials, don't forget to hit subscribe because I do post weekly videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!